Hi, I'm Tim Taylor, and I've tried recording this a few times and I struggle because I want to tell you all what's going on and I can't. But this is regarding our orphanage and our house of prayer in Burma, in Myanmar. Most of you know what's happened. I want to give you a brief update on some things. And they're really challenged right now because some of the children back on the 14th got sick. And now it's all spread to everyone. John Mark's family, all the orphans, and most of the refugees are all sick right now. And so obviously we're praying for them. We invite you to pray for them too, out of using Psalm 103, 2 through 5, Psalm 107, 19 through 20, and also 1 Peter 2:24. By his stripes we were healed. It's part of the covenant. At the same kind, it's the Omicron. And so the truth is, it's like, okay, it's not life-threatening like the other virus was. And frankly, the God-designed immune system is going to do a fabulous job and give them something much better than a vaccine. Anyway, I just want to let you know that this is what they're going through. Obviously, that's a huge challenge, so be praying for them right now. And here's a picture of some of the kids they sent a couple of days ago. I also want to let you know that due to the fact that because of everything going on, the whole nation has been shut down for the most part, and so there was no school. And so recently they hired 3 new teachers to help them. It was one of those teachers whose father was also shot and killed, and her grandmother was shot and killed by the junta. And so that's a picture of them right there. But I want to let you know that they're doing fine. They're doing well. And when I say fine and well, I just sent a report actually this morning to Hope of the World. That's Jonathan Kahn's ministry, because they've helped them in times past and helped. In fact, their seed they sowed into them was critical and gave them tremendous amounts of help when this whole conflict first started. Anyway, this is what I reported to them this morning. I said every time we communicate, he deletes our communication. And one thing I have so appreciated about John Mark over the years is his stewardship, because he's always careful with his records to show how he spends monies. And I told him not to worry, that we were far more concerned for their safety than we were about an accounting. Anyway, I said, so here are their fears. In fact, I have a few audio recordings where they left a message because the shooting and the bombing was so close to the orphanage, they were desperate, asking for prayer. And so there are challenges. There's the challenge of care and feeding of the orphans, and also now that there are family members that are refugees who are staying with them that they're caring for. They're giving them a place for them to stay. They've helped provide for them the food, the cooking supplies, and their clothing, and helping them with other aspects of things like that are associated when you're displaced from your home. Then that was because they bombed the house of prayer, and they bombed many of the village next to it and burned several of their homes. And so that's why they're staying there. They'll go back when the threat of violence is gone. But in the midst of all this communication, the thing that I cannot overemphasize is the tremendous example of faith and courage that they've demonstrated. I remember getting a call back in April 2020, and the report was how they were focusing in on the pastors and ministers to persecute them specifically. And if they couldn't find them, they would arrest the wives and children to force the ministers to come to them, because they were finding the ministers were playing a huge role in the peace protests that were going on, because the military junta they took over the country by force, and the Chinese Communist Party was behind all that. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. But the bottom line is, I was so pleased because when everybody else was leaving, they said, we're going to choose to stay. And so they've chose to stay in the midst of all this. And it's truly inspiring, because in the midst of their challenges and concerns and fears, and we have, again, their faith, their love, their service is just a magnificent example. And this morning I had a friend of mine running for Congress, Doug Bassler, say, hey, go check out Dutch Sheets, give them 15. And I want to give this report from his newsletter this morning. It says, Myanmar continues to experience a staggering revival with thousands upon thousands of Buddhists and Muslims wanting to know about Jesus. Please pray for the additional willing laborers to help, and also for the end of the conflict and to return to civilian rule. And you know how we've learned before how the church is built upon the blood of martyrs. Well, we have some that were serving in our house of prayer that have become that. We have people associated with our orphanage that have become martyrs, killed for their faith. And so I just want to let you know about that. If you want to contribute, obviously you can go to kingdomleague.org, and there's a place to give for orphans there. Or if you just want to give a donation, put in the comments that you want to give to support this, then by all means do so. We'll make sure it gets there. Anyway, I just want to give you this heads up. I want to just give all thanks and praise and glory to Jesus, because in the midst of this thing, I've communicated with John Mark on several occasions, and it's like, I'm so sorry and so challenged. I'm so grieved. But at the same time, I'm so proud of the example that they're setting. I mean, courage is faith in action with wisdom. Courage is something that's demonstrated by love in action with a backbone. And that's something they have. And I really appreciate the example like that. And I'm praying God to give us the courage to stand for the sake of the gospel, the kingdom in our day, no matter what your area of responsibility is, no matter what nation you're in. I encourage you to be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, to put on the whole armor of God that you can stand in this evil day, and having done all, to stand. And so I pray the Lord bless you and keep you. Thank you so much.